Well, I am at Point Reyes National Seashore, which is north of San Francisco, and we are starting out this exploration at the Limantour beach, so here we go. I'm walking north here from the trailhead, and as far as you can see is part of the National Seashore. I didn't walk very far on the beach before heading back. So from the parking lot, there's also this muddy hollow trail. I decided to hike on it a little bit before heading out of the Limantour area. I didn't end up going very far on the muddy hollow trail. I didn't wear my waterproof boots and the trail was quite muddy. So heading back to the parking lot. I'm back at the parking lot and I just love these rolling hills. So as I was pulling away from that first parking lot, there was a side road, and I figured I'd take it. We're probably about a half mile from that first parking lot. There is a short trail that leads from that parking lot down to the water, so since I was here, I decided to walk down there. I'm leaving the Limantour area headed for the Laguna trailhead. Here we are at the Laguna trailhead, and I'll be honest, when I first got here I wasn't even sure this was the right way to go, because straight ahead there's a ranger residency. I don't think it was occupied, but it definitely felt like I was encroaching on their space. I'm just past the ranger residency, and this is where you connect in with the Laguna trail. I decided to head towards the Bayview trail. It looks like there is an education center not far from here. So I reached the junction where you can turn off to the education center, but there's actually a sign that says it's for group reservations only, so I ended up turning around and heading back to the trailhead. So before heading out of the Laguna trailhead area, there's this hostel directly ahead, so I decided to walk down this road 3/10 of a mile to check out the hostel. So I've driven up the Limantour road to the Bayview trailhead, and I thought that I was on the Bayview Trail. I later learned as I hiked further that I was on the Inverness Ridge Trail. So here we go on the Inverness Ridge Trail. So there's some private residency on the Inverness Ridge Trail, and they put this sign up so that people don't end up on private property. And this is where I learned that I was on the Inverness Ridge Trail. So just past the private residency, the trail switches from a service road to more of a traditional hiking trail. So I decided to continue up this trail just a little bit further. I'm now headed back to the trailhead. I'm at the Welcome Center now, and before I left the Bayview Trail, I did take a look around and realize where my mistake was. The Bayview Trail was at the edge of the parking lot, and it crossed the road. So anyways, there's that. But we're at the Welcome Center now. I'm going to take a look around. The first spot that I checked out was actually a little ways away from the visitor center, but you can see this on the way in. It's this red barn. I think it's generally used for events. You can see the deer are really tame around here. I'm back over by the visitor center, and this is the picnic area. There's a couple of interpretive trails by the visitor center. This is the Earthquake Trail. Alright, I'm wrapping up day one out here at the visitor center. We'll pick up tomorrow, I think on the south end of the seashore. So there we go. Well, day two out here at the Point Reyes National Seashore. Starting out at the south end at the Palomarin trailhead. We're on the coast trail. And I'll probably go for about an hour out and an hour back. There's a couple side trails that I might hit along the way. So here we go. I made it to the first junction on the coast trail with the Lake Ranch Trail. Decided to go a little bit further on the coast trail to Bass Lake. There's a couple smaller lakes before you get to Bass Lake, and we're looking at a few of them. This is Bass Lake. I did go a little bit further on the coast trail. There's a spur trail that goes on the far side of the lake from where we're at. So I'm headed back, and I spent at least 2.5 hours on the trail. This is the Duxbury Reef State Marine Conservation Area, and it's the only thing outside of the National Seashore that I filmed. To get to the Palomarin trailhead, to drive there, you actually have to leave the seashore. And there's a bunch of different stuff that's interesting by the Duxbury. But again, this is the only thing that I filmed outside of the National Seashore. I made it to the ocean, and it looks very interesting down there. I did walk around for a little bit to see if there was a trail leading down there. This section of the coast is pretty much all cliffs. This wraps up day 2. I didn't do any more filming, but I did check out some more stuff by the Duxbury Reef. Well, day 3 out here at Point Reyes National Seashore. And I'm starting this morning out at the Point Reyes Lighthouse. We got about a half-mile walk to get there. Once we're done checking this lighthouse out, we'll start working my way back on Sir Francis Drake Boulevard to Pierce Point Road, and if I have time we'll go down Pierce Point Road, but that's the plan for today. I'm getting close to the lighthouse, and we're pretty remote right now, and getting water out here was kind of tricky. So they built this system to collect rainwater. It looks like they have water running out here now, so I don't think this gets used. So I made it to this view spot. It's where the stairs that lead down to the lighthouse are. The lighthouse is not actually in this shot. Unfortunately, the lighthouse is closed on Tuesdays and Wednesdays, and I, of course, was there on a Wednesday. So I wasn't able to go check it out. I did hang out that view spot for a while. There was a gentleman whale watching, and we did see a whale breach at one point. So I've started my drive up Sir Francis Drake Road, and I'm probably about a half mile from the parking lot of the lighthouse, and there was already an observation spot, so I pulled over to check it out. So I made my first detour off Sir Francis Drake Boulevard, and this leads out to Chimney Rock. So I'm at the trailhead parking lot here, and the trail is at least a mile out to Chimney Rock, and at the time I just didn't feel like doing that hike. So there's other attractions at this trailhead. So the first spot that I stopped at was a short walk from the Chimney Rock trailhead, I'm headed out to the Elephant Seal Overlook. So here's the Elephant Seal Overlook, and I could see a few elephant seals down below. I'm now heading towards the Point Reyes lifeboat station from the Chimney Rock trailhead. Here's the first look that I got of the Point Reyes lifeboat station. They use these rails to lower the life-saving boats into the water. I'm back on Sir Francis Drake Boulevard here. I've turned off Sir Francis Drake Boulevard and I'm headed towards South Beach, one of the many public beach accesses at the seashore. I'm heading south from the South Beach access, and that cliff ahead is where the Point Reyes Lighthouse is. So I didn't spend much time at South Beach. It's a pretty generic beach. The other thing was the sand was very coarse, so it was kind of hard to walk on. I'm at Drake Beach here, and there was a bunch of elephant seals on the beach, so they had the beach closed off. And this must be a popular beach, has a fairly large parking lot, and so there was a lot of rangers and other volunteers monitoring the beach. I walked up the hill from Drake's Beach to get a better look at these rolling hills, which you can see on the way into the beach. So this is a cypress tunnel. It was a quick stop. I saw this on the map and I was curious about it, so I walked all the way to the end of the line of trees. This is the turnoff to the Drakes Estero from Sir Francis Drake Boulevard. It's another thing that I saw on the map that I figured I'd check out. So I'm at the point in the map where the Drakes Estero is, but for the life of me, I never really actually figured out what it was supposed to be. So I looked around this area for a little bit before heading out. There was quite a few oyster shells around the Drakes Estero. I'm kind of wondering if they put the shells there to grow oysters. You can see the water coming out of this culvert has a slight tint to it. I'm moving on now, and not too far from the Drakes Estero is the Estero trailhead. Well, I'm going to go a little bit further on the Estero Drake Trail, but it's already getting late, day 3 out here at the Point Reyes National Seashore. So I'm going to wrap this video up here. I want to thank you for watching.